Yeah. What have you guys been up to though?
Not much.
Man.
Not much really. It was just a lot for weekend. I tried to go out in downtown San Jose, but it was really, really dead. Like really dead. And
Isn't it always dead in downtown San Jose?
yeah, but like there's like some glimmers of hope at times. And like you always think that like the combination of like people trying to go back outside, plus people might not want to travel too far for July 4th, combined. I don't know. You make up ideas in your head to give you a reason why you should go. And then literally when we pulled up, I believe there was like 0 people at M.B.S. On July 4th. So I was just like, dead as fuck. It was really dead as fuck. But outside of that, that's cool. Just it up, playing the Warzone.
Nice.
Mike, we gotta hop on that.
Yeah, I haven't been playing in a while. My Xbox has been turned off for the past few weeks, but yeah, I definitely got to get back into it.
He's in the gulag.
Yeah, from time to time.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't think people are really trying to be out like that, like just yet. Yeah, I haven't seen people out like that either. But I've been trying to go out, but you know, sometimes I like get out of a restaurant or something, and you'll see like people moving around, and it don't seem like it's popping.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do want to get something out the way.
Is this the apology?
is this about time? We have
the man is hot. I can't. Pause, but you know what I mean. Like he's on fire right now. This nigga can't miss right now. Past 2 games, nigga can't miss. So I don't know what to say. I mean,
you're saying, and the thing I'm having an issue with this apology. Like I appreciate the apology, but like you're saying he's hot. Like that sounds like he's hot right now.
Well, the only reason I'm saying that is, and these are facts, this nigga was not playing that well as he's playing right now. These past 2 games, he was like barely scoring 10 points a game. Prior to that, in the prior series to that. So it's like him doing what he's doing now, leading the team in scoring, shooting at a such high percentage is really ridiculous. But
I just want to really quickly ask. I want to ask: is scoring the only way you can impact the game?
No, but he's hitting timely buckets, and he's like, you can't, like, every time he touches the ball, it puts the ball up, it goes.
Oh, he could have missed last game.
The last 2 games.
He could have missed. Yeah, yeah.
And they're not even like switches. They're like, swishes. They're like creepers. They're like crawl into the basket. Like it's just all just like shooter's touch. So that's just like, you know, you got.
I want to know why they're putting Bobby Portis on Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
They look like they're fatigued. Right?
They
look like they're a little fatigued. At least the guards are.
Yeah, it was a tough series.
Right.
They just got out of.
Right, playing Atlanta. I think at Milwaukee's guards are a little fatigued because they weren't fighting through screens. They're like letting them switch. So that's what it looked like to me. And they still made it a decently close game. I think Milwaukee, they're fatigued, so they weren't playing as aggressive. You saw that with the free throw discrepancy. And shit, yeah. Phoenix be hitting. Yeah, they was shooting.
Yeah, like everybody on that team.
No, my bad. You can go ahead.
No, yeah, you good.
I was going to say they got it down to single digits though, like late in the game, but it never felt threatening. You know, like all game, it looked like the Suns had every single answer for anything the Bucks gave them. Right. And it was just like, what was the longest stretch that you saw the Bucks kind of win on? I think I might have sawn a 10-0 run from the Bucks. Outside of that, I ain't never seen like
probably
maybe,
from.
It's maybe 13, maybe 13-0.
Yeah, like Middleton came down, hit like a couple buckets.
Yeah.
I did remember that. That was cool.
Yeah, Middleton is playing really well though. Like he's hitting like jumpers in people's face, like
Yeah.
just like a quick little step to the side, pull up. Like
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great series moving forward.
Mhm.
Especially once Milwaukee gets their legs back under them. You know, it's tough coming from one series to the next. Phoenix had a little bit of rest. But I think they did a decent job. But you know, Phoenix they shooting. Milwaukee has played much better on defense. They gotta not.
Yeah.
They cannot switch.
they can't let Bobby
They
Portis guard Chris Paul.
They can't switch off of Chris Paul or Devin Booker. You cannot switch. Whoever's guarding them,
Yeah.
you cannot
Double.
switch.
They need to double. But the thing is, they had Aiden down low, and Chris Paul knows how to get Aiden the ball. Like that man he knows how to move. He has like high IQ basketball takes. Like he has a little post game. Like he plays
Great
well
hands too.
He's scooping up the board. Yeah, and then that's
Yeah.
all Chris Paul needs, bro. He'll make DeAndre Jordan look like all-star, bro.
Yeah, no, Aiden's been looking great. Super great touch around the rim. Super fast. You know, he's not being like scared, trying to like he got 20 boards that last game. Like he's a presence.
Did he get a 20 and 20?
I think so.
He
Yeah.
had like 20 and 19. He was one board away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Game 1 finals, man.
It's gonna be tough.
Following in Ben's footsteps, I like that.
It's gonna be tough. Giannis had like 17 boards himself.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's solid.
And that's the
That's
matchup.
solid.
If you notice, that's who they really want guarding Giannis is Aiden. They put Crowder.
Because he could probably move his feet with him a little bit. All you have to do is give him a step.
Right.
And teams are fine letting Giannis shoot. Like he can have that.
Yeah.
And he can have
Yeah.
that. I kind of want to ask because this might seem kind of crazy off of the rip, but for you guys in your personal eyes, like who do you think is the most important player for the Bucks in this series? I feel like
I think it's Middleton.
And why would you both? Do you want to explain your reasons why? And why it's not Giannis?
I just feel like because Middleton, like he's able to create his own shot. And you know, the 3 ball is what controls the NBA today. And if you can't shoot it, like when it comes down to clutch moments, like you need the 3. And Middleton's able to create his own shot, get to his spots and pull up. Giannis is great. He's physically gifted, like catch him on like with a full steam ahead, like there's no stopping him. But like when it comes down to like half court play, the final couple plays of the game, like you need somebody who can create their own shot, and that's Middleton.
Yeah. I feel like Middleton did exactly what he needed to do that last game. He got 29 points. He hit the threes when he needed to hit the threes. He got him back into the game, late into the game. But I think who needs to step up is Drew Holiday. You got to stop Chris Paul.
Yeah. That's a really simple task.
It's really.
I mean, the reason why. I mean, I don't want to cut you off right there, but the reason why I believe that man can do that is because he stopped Dame and CJ McCollum that one year. Do you remember that one Pelicans series? It was a 3-6 series where it was Drew Holiday, Rajon Rondo, and Anthony Davis. And Portland looked like it was going to be one of their years. Like they were considered the dark horse that season. And
swept the niggas.
Man, Clint.
Yeah.
Clint. Yeah. Like that tag team of Holiday and Rondo fucked with Dame and CJ. Like I ain't never seen them off their balance. Like, not even with the Warrior series. Like even with the Warrior series, Dame and CJ were getting there.
This is what hurts me the most. Cause like you said, Rondo was playing great. And I was so fucking excited that last series to see Rondo against CP3. But Kawhi don't like Rondo, it seemed like. Or at least
I mean, do you see how Rondo came at him? Like after that one shot where Kawhi kind of threw away the game?
Yeah. And I feel like after that, I feel like Kawhi is the reason Patrick Beverley got all the minutes. Like Patrick Beverley, he was playing well. He's being a little irritant, but it doesn't mean anything at the end of a game. Like, yeah,
He was hitting
that's
threes
cool.
too.
That's cool. He hit a couple threes in the first half, but he's not. I'm saying that, like, when the game gets close and you need to make like smart decisions, you don't want Patrick Beverley in the game. Patrick Beverley's gonna lose you the game at the end of the game. Like,
It
yeah,
doesn't need to be, the ball doesn't need to be in his hands though.
but he has to be in the game. I mean,
Okay.
it might end up in his hands if he's in the game.
True.
It's like that might happen. So it's the fact that he's in the game and that could happen, and that they're going to let that happen. Like the defense is going to operate around let Patrick Beverley have to make a decision. We want that to happen.
Not going to be it's not going to be that. It's going to be on rare occasions. It's obviously going to be, let's start with Paul George making a decision. Reggie Jackson's going to be on the floor as well. Like there's going to be people that like create the flow of offense on that team that aren't Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley is a pick and pop on that offensive squad. Like he's not like, he doesn't put the ball down a lot. It's like in those type of moments, it's like a shoot or pass.
Right.
Back out to the playmaker.
And the little bit that Rondo played, they had him guarding Devin Booker. I'm like, he's not gonna be able to guard Devin Booker. Like, put him on CP.
Not a lot of people can.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, so like it just made him look bad. And then like on top of that, like Patrick Beverley's like doing a little bit better against Devin. Like they need somebody for Devin Booker. I feel like if PG should have took that fucking responsibility, but he's weird. He's just fucking weird.
PG, like I don't know, man. Like he's a talented player, but like he's cool I don't know. Guy. He's just missing something. He's missing something.
There's this trend that I'm seeing, bro, with superstars not guarding the best player on the opponent's team. Like when it
I feel like that's been consistent throughout. Like that's been a consistent for a while now. Like
ever since Kobe retired, damn near.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just like an operational thing. Like it's not even that those players can't guard the best player on the opposition team. It's that there's so much put on them to generate offense that they have to take like some sort of defense. And like people didn't really start doing that. Yeah. And so when you said, Brandon, like until Kobe retired.
But
like then we see we're questioning. Like I think the first time I was tripping was when Bron was not guarding KD in the finals. Like I was tripping. Like, are you telling me there's a better defender on the court?
That was in 2018, right? When Bron, because you know what? KD put Bron on the floor a couple times in 17. I think Bron tried it in 17, and then 18 he was like, "I'm just gonna score. Like I'm just like, like I can't guard him, but." He can't guard me either.
Yeah. So you got to go bucket for bucket. Right. But so like KD's gonna win that. Gonna win that.
That's funny. Not funny, but I don't know, bro. It's just interesting to me.
No, that's. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but that's another thing too. Is like maybe like in those situations, like okay, yeah, you're required to do so much on offense, but that's really just to like promote this image of yourself. Like that's like there's other ways of scoring. Like you can get your teammates involved. Like you don't necessarily have to do so much on offense all the time. I feel like these players like do a lot just to like seem like they're the guy rather than doing what's best for them.
Yeah. But I mean, if they'll
force feed him the ball, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, come playoff time, like they're also going to, I guess, win or lose. Like they're going to take the blame as well. Like so, if the superstars do take more of a facilitating role, then they lose, they're going to be like, oh, he was being timid. He wasn't like, he wasn't putting in the effort. Blah blah blah. But like it's just kind of it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, unless you're LeBron, like LeBron wasn't doing that much in game 7 of 2016 offensively, but he was playing decent defense. Yeah. And they give him credit for playing great defense, like decent defense.
Wait, in
Or
which
Eric
year?
Iguodala, he was a Finals MVP for playing defense. Like I'm just saying,
But
you
that
can. But all I'm saying is you can impact the game in other ways, and you don't necessarily have to see yourself as being like this scorer like all the time, but definitely you got to
But it's
score.
like if
You got to
you're,
score to win, for sure.
but I mean, if your
I'm not
teammates
saying don't score.
aren't, if your teammates aren't nice enough to get buckets, like you're talking about LeBron versus KD, Steph Curry, and fucking Klay Thompson. Like, I mean, what like I mean, I guess he had. Wait, who was on that? Who else was on that Cavs team? With Kyrie was Kyrie, LeBron. Who else?
K-Love.
Like after he had already fell off, like, but wasn't he hurt? Like, I feel like they didn't have a full. I feel like he didn't have a full squad against that Warriors team.
K-Love's an Olympian, Mike.
Oh, the first one.
Where is he now?
He's on the Olympic team.
Oh well.
Popovich said they're gonna be relying on him heavy. That's a quote. That's a quote.
I mean, and that's because none of the other, like, I mean, I guess, but
this is what's being said. I'm just kidding with you. Like, this is what's being said about Kevin Love. I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you.
But like, I feel like he was hurt against like with the KD Warriors. It's like the one time like the Cavs were fully healthy is when they beat the Warriors in 2016. And then after that, I feel like either
they were healthy in 2017.
They were?
Yeah, that's full strength.
Oh, all right. I feel like somebody got hurt, but maybe not.
No, they won a game.
Somebody always gets hurt though.
I swear some like they weren't full strength, like those, like in one of those series, but maybe I'm tripping.
No, they were full strength. I mean, Kyrie wasn't on the team the following year, in 2018.
Okay, so then that's finals. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. So it's LeBron versus like the entire Warriors team. Like what he has to score. Like what else are you gonna do?
Not LeBron. LeBron they had decent bench players. They had hella bench players on that team. They had hella
all right, but is that enough to take on a Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson?
No, I mean
no,
it was enough to get to the finals.
It was though.
Yeah, I mean that's off the strength of LeBron alone, but like LeBron, he couldn't. It was too much for him against that team.
He almost won game one though.
Yeah,
he did almost win game one, but
he did. So then, was that JR? Was that on JR?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Real nigga.
And George Hill for missing the free throw.
Yeah, that was big. That was big of him. Yeah.
Yikes.
That was a great game. That was a really good game.
I'm sure Milwaukee misses George Hill right now. Instead of if they had George Hill instead of
I bet they do, bro.
DiVincenzo. Oh yeah.
That's what they're really missing is DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
DiVincenzo, he
hurt?
Yeah, he's hurt. He's been hurt for a minute.
Oh yeah, they got what's his name in playing instead.
They got Connaughton. Connaughton's
Connaughton.
Connaughton can shoot, but defensively, not it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't pass either. So, but anyway, I got that out the way. Chris Paul, I'm sorry, you're a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, this is the Mostly Bullshitting podcast. I'm mostly bullshitting. Mike, you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, so I'm Mike.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Solomon.
Yeah, and this is the weekly catch up between three former college roommates, where we talk about sports, the news, finances, world politics, things of that sort. But like I was saying, we were mostly bullshitting. Don't take us too seriously. We're just, getting things off of our chest, I guess. We got nothing else better to do. So let's start with Mike, man. What's your topic for this week?
So I mentioned it earlier, but I don't think either of you kind of saw what was happening in the Gulf of Mexico these past couple of days. There was a gas leak from a pipeline that's going underwater that caused a fire in the middle of the ocean. And so it was trending really heavily on social media just because no one could understand how water could be on fire. And essentially, like I tried to look up reports. The investigation isn't fully completed yet, but there was a gas leak that's happening in this pipeline that's in the Gulf. And they suspect what happened was there were weather conditions that created a spark and then thus ignited this gas. And then so now the ocean's on fire. And so essentially, like, you know, it causes like a lot of environmental groups to say, oh, this is why we need more renewable energy and all that. And while that's true, natural gas like isn't necessarily the problem when it comes to greenhouse gas emissions. It's more so coal and oil that emit a heavy amount of CO2, NOx, and other poisonous gases into the atmosphere when they're burned.
For sure.
Natural gas is actually, I mean, while it does emit some of those pollutants into the air, it is cleaner than them. And it's a pretty reliable source of energy currently, because right now we just don't have the infrastructure in place to support all of these renewable efforts, because they also don't produce enough energy to support all of the energy we need. So I was kind of get your thoughts. I know, Brandon, we had talked earlier about trying to potentially add that, like, do like a solar kind of farm in kind of inner cities. But like, you know, we kind of explored that idea and we realized how expensive it was for the little amount that we were going to get out of it.
We could be like Akon and get China to
fund it.
Like,
yeah.
We could be like Akon. Akon is a fucking genius though, but that's another topic for another day. But yo, like we should do some shit like that, man. I'm really into like the whole idea of solar power. I think solar power is gonna be the wave, just because I feel like that energy is limitless if you figure out a really efficient way of harnessing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do have like pretty cool ways. So I don't know if it's in California or like on the way to Vegas, like it's either in California or in Nevada, but they have this like solar farm, and essentially like they take this like giant mirror and like they concentrate the sun's power into like a single point, and like it generates even more energy. It makes it more efficient. The issue with like solar panels is just that they're so expensive to make. The materials are like, just to harness the materials to make them is very damaging to the environment. But eventually, like their return on investment, their return on investment does end up being net positive. But it's just like their life cycle doesn't even last that long. So like, I think the lifespan for a solar panel I guess it's pretty long, but the lifespan for a solar panel is probably like 20 to 30 years. Whereas with things like gas pipelines, oil pipelines, they can be in the ground for 50 to 100 years without really without much maintenance as it would require for a solar panel. So other alternatives that there are, which I've been kind of getting into recently, are biogas. I think that's also has a lot of potential for the future.
Like, is that like ethanol or something?
No, so yeah, that, and there's a way to take the same natural gas that we have come into our homes. There's a way to produce that from just basically bio waste, cow shit, plant waste. Yeah, compost, exactly. So you're able to harness the gas that would already be emitted into the atmosphere if you just let it sit there. Instead, you harness it and make it, treat the gas and then make it useful for the same purposes that we use the current natural gas for.
Now,
so
that's a naturally, I don't know about that, Mike, because
what?
Would that possibly negatively affect the ecosystem?
No, I mean, it's just it's just cow shit. Like it's so like the cows, like they, you know,
Is
they
anything
they
like trees, maybe like trees breathing? I'm just I don't know anything about this, but I'm like, trees breathing carbon dioxide,
CO2.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, there's
is
plenty
that
of CO2 in the atmosphere. Trees were very abundant prior to mankind being around. So like they'll be
no,
fine if we, oh, you're talking about if we
right?
don't.
Yeah, like not us breathing, but just the common thing is there being natural gas. Like natural gas existed from things dying. You know what I'm saying? But that was able to, cycle in new life. So is that gonna could that
Uh,
potentially, if we're too reliant upon that, can that be problematic in the future potentially?
I don't think so. As long like so you're talking about like using it for like manure and stuff like that.
I don't know. I don't really want
Like
like
I
that just seems like a bad idea to have shit everywhere, but I don't know.
well no, so what happens is they take so you know how we have these giant dairy farms all over the country. So that produces a lot of cow waste. So instead of just kind of letting that waste just kind of sit there and just pretty much let all of the fumes and gases that come from that waste just emit to the atmosphere, instead we collect that gas, treat it, and then we make it useful. So like it doesn't negatively impact the atmosphere, and but it also benefits us.
Mm, okay.
Because like so you were just saying just because like trees and plants, they use the nutrients that comes out of the waste to
Right.
then thrive. That'll still be available. There's no reason that you can't like continue to do that, because like there's still like there's still the byproduct of the gas that's still there that probably still contains those nutrients that you're speaking of. It's just like all the gas that emits and comes out of the shit is what we collect to use for our purposes, and then the rest of it we dispose of the normal way we would have disposed of it.
That makes sense.
Ahead of time. Yeah.
Got you.
But like the only problem is it doesn't produce that much gas. So like you would need a lot of it to like it's not a viable solution to offset all of our natural gas consumption. Is the problem. So like that's why you just need a combination of all types of renewables. But right now we just don't have the infrastructure in place to actually support that. So that's why I still think natural gas is a good like kind of middle ground to be using. If we can transition to like coal is the main problem. If we can transition off of coal, sustain natural gas for a while until we build the infrastructure for these renewable sources, that's how we can like kind of transition into a better future.
So really quickly to butt in, Mike, what do you think will be the fastest or most rapidly growing renewable energy source that like we'll be able to tap into with like the population that we do have? Because you mentioned that like with the solar panels, like that kind of material is like, is it scarce or is it just damaging to the environment?
It's just it's difficult to mine. So like mining it heavily damages the environment. Then also the negative effect of solar panels, unless we're putting them on, well, I guess the future would be to just put them on everybody's homes. But as far as like powering like major cities, there's not only not enough space for it, but it won't produce enough energy to power those cities. And then the same issue with wind turbines in that they're huge, so they take up a lot of space. And like there's really not that many places we can put them to, to gain the amount of power that we need from them.
So why
Okay.
is so
But
why
like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, why is China investing in it then in Africa?
What
Because
I
there's a
was
lot of open
I was-
space in Africa. Like that's
And
the
it's close
idea.
to
But
the
like,
equator, right? Is that
yeah,
what's
yeah,
causing
that's-
that
they
not to
probably
be
have
as
strong
efficient
winds.
here?
Stronger winds. Is that how the equator works? I'm not sure. They have stronger winds
I
there.
think it's just more sun,
Yeah.
like
More sun
consistently throughout.
concentrated.
Yeah, it's like more concentrated sunlight, right?
Yeah, I mean, and there is like a lot of open space in the US. It's really just about investing the money to do so, and like just trying to figure out if it's really worth it with how much we're going to end up for mining the resources. Like, when is the return on investment going to happen where we're net positive in our energy production?
What do they have to mine again to make solar panels?
Silicon.
Silicon. Where do you find that?
In the Silicon Valley, right where you got. I mean, yeah, but I don't know.
I thought they call it that because that's what like things are made.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think that there's just like happens to be a lot of silicon in the Bay Area, and that's why it's called that. Wow. But yeah, I think that's the primary component in a solar panel. But yeah, it's just, I guess it's just difficult to mine. And
is there, what's it called? Is there like, you know how like the computer chip is like with processing power has been able to like process more in a smaller amount of space? Do you think there's going to be like some technology that'll be able to like, you know, a smaller solar chip can withhold more energy over time?
Well, actually, now that I think about it, I think the key with the solar panels is going to be the batteries. So like that's what like Tesla is investing heavily in. A lot of companies are heavily investing in the batteries that are able to store the energy. Because right now, like in the past with solar, so you had solar panels on your house. If you had an excess amount of energy, it would like kind of go back to the grid. And like, there's obviously like there's electrical waste just in electricity traveling. But if you just harness it right then and there at your house and store it in a battery, not only will you have backup power, but your energy use will be more efficient that way as well. So I think that's why a lot of companies are, you know, focusing on battery technology to complement solar, and that can potentially be a huge solution in the future.
So it's really not about silicon. As long as we have solar panels, that's fine. It's that we need lithium and like cobalt to make batteries, so that we can just.
That's so crazy, dude. Some random like army dude in like a bar, like randomly, drunkenly told me, this is what you need to invest in next. And he said lithium. Lithium was like the thing. He was like, bro.
Lithium and cobalt. But we're investing in it. Solomon is going to do bad things to people in real life.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's blood money.
It's for sure blood money.
See, and that so that's where like there's nothing that's just truly perfect. And that's the issue with renewables. Like, obviously they have a lot of potential. There's a lot of support behind them, but like people need to realize there's a lot more that goes into sourcing the materials to get these things, the effort that goes into sourcing those materials, and like, so it's not just as easy as people like to think it is to convert to this, because like our current system is super easy. You get fucking coal, you burn it, it produces electricity. Like, it's that simple. Like other you know, with natural gas, like you just need to transport it in a pipeline. It's very energy efficient because it doesn't lose any energy as it's traveling through those pipelines. So like it's just like we need to find a way to make these renewables more efficient to create and more efficient in generating their power. And then that's when we can, but like, I mean, that just comes with money. So it just takes a lot of investment, and that's probably what China is doing. So hopefully they're doing some, I guess, but hopefully they're doing some groundbreaking shit, because China is like the #1 emitter of pollution in the world, right? Or they're the top, it might be us, but yeah, they're up there, but they also have a shit ton of people.
I don't think it's us.
But we're like probably right behind. We're probably like #3. It's probably like China, India, us.
Yeah.
Brazil might be bad.
Maybe Russia.
But like the thing about like this, I just feel like the Eastern countries is they do have quite a bit. So like their biogas is huge in like Germany. They produce like 50. I feel like I saw a stat where they produce like 50% of their power with biogas. There's something crazy like that. So like it's just really about investing in the infrastructure to create it. And I think that's what AOC is trying to do with her Green New Deal. But I mean, it's a tough fight to
Yeah.
get people to buy into the idea of climate change. But like back to what I was talking about with the Gulf fire, the funny thing is that methane in its purest form is actually the worst greenhouse gas there is, and that's what natural gas is. But because it was burning, it was actually better for the atmosphere rather than it just like emitting, like not burning and just going up into space. Yeah. So people are tripping about the fire, but in reality, the fire, like, yeah, I mean, I guess the leak shouldn't have happened to begin with, but the fire actually kind of helped a little bit offset the pollution that would have happened if the leak continued. So like
Right.
That's interesting.
You're saying the byproduct from it is not as bad as burning something carbon based.
Well, so like the byproduct of burning natural gas is not as bad as the pure methane that the gas is. So like, let me see. So if
it's
you
better
have
that it's burning than just being released.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, so you have methane is CH4, so then you add oxygen to it, you get carbon dioxide and hydrogen.
So it might
so like
it might have burned it on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, like it, like honestly, like it's a good thing that it caught on. Like it's all like I don't want to say it's a good thing that it caught on fire because then people will say like, oh, it shouldn't have been there to begin with. But like, it like it catching on fire made them aware that there was a leak. So it, in a way, it kind of was better.
They were probably aware there was a leak. This is me, conspiracy Brandon. They were probably aware there was a leak, and they set that shit on fire and said, "This is how we're gonna fix it," because ain't no other way we're gonna be able to fix this. And
well, no, well, I mean, like either way,
you can't boat over here and fuck the fish.
Well, I mean, catching it on fire like wouldn't have fixed the leak though. So like they have to actually go now underwater and repair whatever the leak was that was down there. Right. So like by it catching on fire, it just made everybody aware that there was a leak.
But like you just said, it reduced the damage though that the leak caused to the environment. At least it.
But I think ultimately it probably would have been better for the environment if they just went in and if they knew the leak was there, it would have been better to just go in and fix it. Because who knows how long it was leaking? Nobody knows. Because like it could, like that spark could have whatever. Like I said, the investigation is still going on how it started. But the suspicion is that it was leaking and the weather conditions. There was like a lightning strike and sparked the gas to catch on fire. And then so now it's just burning. But who knows? We'll know more hopefully I'll know more by next pod. I'll give an update.
For sure. Let's move on to the next topic. I was going to talk about something that came up recently. It was pretty interesting. Basically, the Haitian president, the president of the country of Haiti, was assassinated, I believe, at his home. His wife is in a hospital, critical condition at the hospital. From reports, they were using heavy artillery. They're using like really high caliber weapons, just based off of the sound that they were making. That's what people were reporting. I mean, I don't really know the details. This is just, hearsay. And I also heard people say that the people that were shooting were speaking to each other in English and Spanish, whereas Haiti is a French and Creole speaking country. Right. So
interesting.
Right. So they don't feel like it was one of the internal gangs within Haiti, because Haiti does have a big gang problem where large sections of the island are controlled by gangs, and they're not really controlled by the government police. But they don't think it was that. They think it was more so probably mercenaries, but they don't know what the intention or the motive is behind why the president would be assassinated.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
I was actually recently watching like a Vice documentary on the situation, and so from what I learned was that they were pretty much just interviewing. The interview was around it was an ex-military officer who was like on like the CIA's like not I think he might be on the most wanted list for pretty much terrorizing the press. Like he worked on behalf of the president, and he actually brought some of those gangs that you mentioned together and terrorized specific villages that were dissident of the president. That was pretty much what was reported from the the presidential candidates, as well as what's it called, some of the residents in the area. And so in the Vice documentary, basically they actually interviewed the dude who's pretty much considered like the most wanted dude, and he's walking around like with full immunity. Like he has like little soldiers around him, like all of them. And the reason why he's such a big deal is because he apparently brought like a lot of these gangs together to stop fighting with each other, and he has them under payola. But the reason why I bring that up is there was like a very sly kind of rumor and insinuation that this man has so much strength he can probably take power himself, because he actually has like multiple warrants out for him internationally and in Haiti.
Damn.
So is he like Pablo?
But he doesn't sell. Like he's just considered someone who keeps the peace, because Haiti is like after the hurricanes, it's been rampant with politician corruption.
He doesn't sell. How does he make? Wait, how does he get weapons?
Well, I don't know. That I can't speak to. I don't want to speak to that.
Like, wait a minute, wait. I'm like, where do you get the money to buy guns?
I do not see. Well, no, they're saying that it's rumored. It's actually rumored that he's been funded by the government.
By the United States government?
No, the Haitian government.
The Haitian government.
Because he's
unofficially?
Because the only villages that are being attacked are villages that were opponents of the president. And the one thing I forgot to bring up was that the president's term was supposed to end in February.
Yeah.
This previous February. So I think there was a spike because of those protests that were happening. And so there were certain massacres and burnings. I think they call him the Burning Man or Fireman.
He was turning into a dictator. He was going against democracy. You cannot do that in today's time.
Especially in Haiti. They're the one thing they're known for a revolution. So it's
and foreign influence. Because the whole story with Haiti, the whole reason that they're the poorest country in North America, from what I understand.
Western Hemisphere, then you.
Western Hemisphere, yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's probably somebody doing worse than I don't know, but is because when they gained their freedom, the French basically isolated them for a long time, and they have to pay reparations to the French because the French were we're just gonna surround this island with warships so that nothing can come in and out of it.
Oh shit.
So instead of having that happen, Haiti was in debt to France for a long ass time. I don't know. I think they just got out of it recently. Yeah.
That's really crazy though.
Yeah. So that's why they're so fucked.
So then who's suspected of killing the Haitian president? You were saying that. So Solomon, you were saying that this dictator was backed by the Haitian government. So
he's a warlord. He's a
little warlord. He's not
the president was becoming a dictator. He was elected, but then his term was supposed to be up in February. He kept going.
But you were saying that the warlord it's suspected, or it's rumored that the warlord was supported by the Haitian government.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't the thing is, if that was the case, it would potentially be a backstabbing, or because they were, from what it was spelled out in some of the investigative journalism done by Vice.
Yeah,
they were pretty much insinuating that they were more than likely paid out by the Haitian government because of the targets where some of these like shootings had happened and burnings of townhomes had happened. They were
Right.
all of them were consistently not with the president. They had been supporting the other political parties and like the polls and shit.
Got it.
Right. Ain't no coincidence. That's
But the thing is that
crazy.
they were still speaking Spanish and English in a French speaking country, which means that there was all that means was there was money involved. I like it doesn't necessarily have to mean there weren't inside actors because there definitely were. There were definitely inside intentions, but it still does leave the door open for like international players to like because like they're like the thing is you still have to like look like for us right now it might not be clear, but like there's always intention if like someone like the U.S.
That
took
sounds
out
like a CIA op to me. I mean,
yeah,
it
but
smells.
like there
It
has
looks
to
like
be
a special intelligence op.
but like um usually with the U.S. operations, there's always a very very capitalistic reason for like the U.S. to take over. Like more specifically, like a natural resource like oil has definitely influenced the U.S. to kind of like be a little bit more aggressive to get like the actors there. Like I think with Nicaragua, were they moving to communism before, and their natural resources was the reason why they like had them flip. I personally, I really wish I had a better understanding of my U.S. history in terms of like CIA toppling dictators, but I
I
don't
mean,
really know necessarily what Haiti had for other countries in terms of like a geopolitical like influence.
Yeah. So I was curious about like what Haiti has that other governments would want. And yeah, I mean it's oil and gas is the primary thing. They also have a lot of gold.
mm-hmm.
So I mean that would make sense why the US is involved. Those are the three major things that we love.
I mean, like I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, what do they export? Like, what do they export? What is like, what would that president have control over?
true,
That's it.
true.
Like, what does he
That's
have
all.
control over?
We
Like,
need to know, and then we might know who our actors.
for
But
sure.
I
But
don't think
yeah, they
I don't
said
think anything happens in the Western Hemisphere without the U.S. knowing. And if
right.
they're acting
Well,
about it, this is literally, if you look at the reports, it looks like it's in another day's office. Like this hasn't broken news like at all,
they're
Okay.
like that.
So here it is. Yeah. So the major things that are exported are oil, coca, coffee, and mangoes, and 70% of that goes to the United States. So
70% of that goes to the United States.
70% of their exports.
So we're the buyers.
Yeah. So we're the buyers, but obviously
So
we're
I
doing
mean,
some
in terms
shady
of like
shit.
exact volume, I don't know. It depends if it actually affects us economically. If it does, fuck it, I can definitely see it. But
It can affect a certain section of the United States economically.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, I mean
definitely.
our oil industry, like I mean, it supplies a lot of jobs. It's a big part of our economy. So like that's also part of the reason there's so much like fight for renewables, because if we do end up going that way, it's going to remove a huge portion of our economy.
Yeah.
And so
That's
Okay.
crazy. Man, they sent the Sicarios on that on that dude.
Yeah.
That's
For real, bro.
they sent the
They're called the Cali
Sicarios.
cartels. Let me tell
That's what it sound
them how
like.
it's done.
That's what
Tell
it
them how
sound
it's
like.
done.
Man.
Like
Woo.
the president was trying to raise prices on us. He said, fuck that. He said,
Yo,
fuck that. We said,
he
fuck
said the
that.
price of the brick went up. Nah, the price of
You
you
need to
going up.
cut it.
Oh my god. Okay. And so what happens? You know what happens next for Haiti? Like, what's the play?
They're having another
There's
election.
no.
I think the prime minister is like the interim lead head of state until like the fall, and they're gonna have another election.
Listen, Damn, it's strong, Haiti.
Be strong, Haiti. Be strong, cause yeah, y'all have been dealing with it since 1804. So I feel
Too
it.
long.
Too long.
Yeah.
Gotta get one right foot forward.
Right.
That's how. Well, should I just start up on my topic?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's at that time. All right, for sure. So I do not know the exact date, but yes, well, I guess ex-ESPN reporter Rachel Nichols was caught on a hot wire, talking about losing, I believe, was it the sideline gig for the NBA Finals in 2021?
She had the sideline gig, and then
Okay.
she wanted to get promoted
Two.
to before the game at halftime.
Oh, got you. Okay, got you. So the main broadcast group.
She wanted to be before the game at halftime with Jalen Rose and Chauncey. No, Chauncey's a coach. And whoever Jay Williams.
And previously Paul Pierce, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't want to do the sideline job.
Yep. But basically, I think the person who did get her job was Mariah Taylor. I believe, is she the host of what ESPN show? Is The Jump? No, that's Rachel Nichols.
No, Rachel Nichols does The Jump. I think Maria Taylor does Sports Center sometimes.
Okay, for sure. So Maria Taylor got the gig, and over a hot mic, Rachel Nichols flatly said out to a coworker that she got it basically because she was black, essentially. I mean, with more context, I can say it by saying that Rachel Nichols said that Disney needs to work on their diversity, blah, 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 but that doesn't really matter because Rachel Nichols just essentially said that she got this because she was black and has attempted to go on the sorriest apology tour of all time. Immediately exited stage left, and I think she already signed the deal with another agency.
She left ESPN?
I think so, yeah. Let me.
Because I know she got suspended. See, the thing is with Rachel Nichols, and this is the deep shit, is like, who is Rachel Nichols, right?
Like, to be honest, like I didn't really know her name. Like I knew her face.
Right. Maria Taylor plays sports, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the other people, they came up and like, you know, they're a little local. But she's actually the daughter-in-law of Diane Sawyer. Who's really popular for doing like the ABC morning show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. So like talk about like nepotism and like benefits of people, you know, like it's crazy. Like
right. She was, you can tell that's what it was. It was like she was like, when I heard the
video, a little
bit
of an entitlement.
Yeah, when I heard the video, she was like, I get diversity, especially being a woman, but you're not gonna get diversity out of me. Like, not me. Not me. Like, I feel you, but just not me. Just not me. Like,
you're not stepping over me.
You know, right.
No. Like, she acting like she was about to use the camera.
Racism sucks, but it's me. We're talking, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's racial.
It's me we're talking about. Come on.
Man, but yeah, I actually did confirm it. Yeah, she left ESPN and signed a 10-year, $100 million deal with Newsmax.
With who?
Newsmax.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Rachel Nichols.
I mean, I feel like she could have. I mean,
actually, my bad. It might have been a joke. It might have been a joke one.
Is that like the Onion or something? Like,
it's off of NBA Circle Jerk. I'm not sure if this is actually a tweet.
I could have sworn like I saw her hosting something with the NBA Finals.
Yeah, like immediately after it happened, she did that whole apology. Like they let her do the apology. They had
I might be tripping. I might have
they had weirdos, Kendrick Perkins and Richard Jefferson be like, oh, you know, she's a great person. She never said nothing crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, like to an extent, like, so like considering like what, like when you're like in a room just joking with your friend, like wild shit is said, like it's
for
like,
sure.
So like that's why like I'm not like I don't think like she's 100% the ops. Like she might have just been like speaking. I don't know. She was just speaking candidly with like her colleague. So like, but like, it just like I don't know who the fuck recorded it. Is what I want to know.
I don't know.
No, I actually think, did they say it was the production like recording, or was it a coworker?
I don't know. I have no idea how they got it. It was. I know the recording was from like last year though. And now it's just
What? So
coming out
somebody held on to that
Yeah,
shit?
it's like someone
For
was
a
trying to
year.
like sabotage her almost.
The
Bruh.
recording is from July
Oh,
of 2020.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it was about this final?
I don't think so. It couldn't have been then. No, it must have been. It must have been about something else. It must have been about her.
Okay.
It must have been about her getting that job, that ESPN halftime whatever job.
Oh, so that was happening all because she was that host for like, or she was that correspondent for like the whole NBA season. Yeah,
she's been doing that.
Yeah.
Maria
So it
Taylor's
must have been about that. Yeah.
It was about how she got that job in the first place.
Got it.
While Rachel Nichols was still on the sideline doing the Doris. She didn't want to do the Doris Burke thing, even though Doris Burke calling games now, but she didn't want to do the sideline reporter anymore. But now she's not even doing the sideline reporter. They suspended her from that. Put some black
That's crazy.
black woman.
I mean, it's literally, I mean, you can't expect anything else like from Disney to kind of reinforce that. They're very, I mean, especially in these types of scenarios, they're very like, I mean, superficial and they're kind of stance. Like, sure, it may be happening behind closed doors, but if it ever gets out into the open, they're gonna like, you know, put the hammer down because they need to have the appearance of, you know, being a organization that values, you know, equity and whatever bullshit they probably say in the fucking diversity and inclusion little handout. But basically, all that to say, Rachel Nichols definitely deserved what she got. And if anybody thinks it's okay, that just means you say some out of pocket shit to your coworker, and you could always get got.
Yeah.
Just know that.
I'm just saying, like I get like, yeah, like she was relaxed, like she was whatever, but I'm like, then she's still out of pocket. Like I still wouldn't laugh at that. I would still, if she said that to me, I'd be like, you being a hater. Like
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're being like a super hater. Like I wouldn't really want to like associate myself with her after I heard her say some weird shit like that. Like,
you know, she said that to a white person. There's like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, she said it to Adam Mendelson, who's like LeBron's advisor, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. For sure. God damn it.
His advisor.
No, like,
that sounds like his ESPN plug, but continue.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
I'm like, man, this is crazy.
You are my liaison. Yes.
Right, exactly.
Tapping with Brian Windhorst on Tuesdays, Rachel Nichols on Wednesdays,
Adrian
Rose on Fridays.
Adrian Wojnarowski
yeah, exactly.
on Sunday.
Yeah, these are your meetings. These are all you have to do. Meet each one of these fucks once a week. I will pay you 500 G's. How does that sound? I love easiest job of my life.
Oh, no.
That shit, man. I don't know. I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
It was interesting. They were trying, like, it was interesting because they were like against white supremacy, but it was just so like, but not me. Like the whole conversation was like, you know, this is like a bigger issue because, you know, like there's all these other jobs that white men are in that we also need to like look at and be like, you know, we should probably put like a woman or somebody else of a different ethnicity in those positions as well. But the NBA finals, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
this is too much for them. This is too much for the colors.
You know,
that gotta be me.
White people in San Francisco have like a Black Lives Matter kind of poster in their front lawn and vote for every single policy to get Black people out that neighborhood. Rachel Nichols is that type of white woman.
Right. She's like, don't break my windows.
She's a San Francisco white woman. Rachel Nichols should show a San Francisco white woman.
Shit, she a Piedmont Alameda,
Peabody, yeah.
Alameda white woman. God damn it.
Yeah, bro.
Albany white woman.
Man, she gotta wait. She gotta wait all the way till next February before she gotta show out for Black History Month. Damn.
Oh man, she gonna go crazy.
Oh, she's gonna go crazy.
She gonna go crazy. She's like,
she'll get a little. She'll get a little teaser on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Said, I wish this had been June 6th. You know what I'm saying? Could have made Juneteenth, maybe.
Yo, that would have been fantastic. So, what over the top shit would she have done?
I would have pledged $500,000 to Black owned businesses. I would have pledged $500,000. She would have.
Do you see this girl right here? She's going to Howard tomorrow because of me.
Over the next 10 years.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
I'm gonna start a scholarship.
The Rachel Nichols.
The Maria Taylor scholarship.
The Maria Taylor scholarship. Yo, Corona will not be televised because it absolutely will be.
Oh my god, man!
Oh my god! Wow.
No, for real though, she messed up, and I wonder if I don't think she's been on TV since, but I wonder what's gonna happen.
I feel like I saw her on TV like this yesterday.
Yeah, she might have been just to, like shortly apologize.
Oh, maybe. Maybe it was a Twitter clip.
She just did a little segment just to apologize. That was it.
Yeah. I don't think she's on.
I saw a clip of Jalen Rose's daughter. He went in on her. Or she, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Jalen Rose's daughter went on her.
She was like, she did like a little TikTok video about like who Rachel Nichols is and how dare she, clap it like Maria Taylor, who's like way more experienced in the sports world than she is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you even comparing yourself to her?
Sit down.
So I just wonder if there's like, if that's how his daughter's feeling. I don't know if that's like how he feels, but you know what I'm saying? Like that, I wonder how that work environment is going to be moving forward. Like obviously she's cool.
Jalen Rose, he has to like play it professional. Like
I think Jalen's gonna be a professional about it. I don't think he's gonna. There's gonna be like that one corny ass like literally like scripted out discussion where like Jalen Rose and her like normal crew will just have to sit there and have like a scripted conversation about like the importance of inclusivity in the workplace, because Disney wrote it up for them. But outside of that, I think they're gonna be chill.
Fuck ESPN. She should have been fired. No, I'm playing. No, I'm playing.
If they had to fire Paul Pierce for having strippers on his IG live,
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like,
yo, yeah. I brought this one up. Was this week 1 or week 2?
Yeah, one of them might have been the first pod.
All Pierce got fired, but that was strippers.
Yeah, he was wild.
He was wilding, but he wasn't working. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess like he wasn't harming anyone.
Well, both weren't necessarily working.
I guess he wasn't harming
I think they're two. You can't compare them side by side. I feel like they're just two totally different things.
Right. They are two totally different things, but I just feel like I don't know. I'm looking at it like she shouldn't have been fired because other like Stephen A. Smith.
I don't think so.
He said, he did something and then he just apologized and got suspended and moved on. So.
He said something about like
women shouldn't hit men because men will hit back. That's what he said.
But didn't he also like say something about how like somebody like somebody's
it was like about like the Ray Rice situation or something.
No, but he also said something about how like somebody's relative like passed away and he was like, oh, he should still play. That's no excuse or something like that. Or somebody said something about going through like some mental health issues and then he like
might have been Montrezl, right?
Say that again.
Was it Montrezl Harrell?
Maybe.
Was it in the bubble this year?
There was something that somebody was saying how they were going through like some mental health issues, and Stephen A. Smith was just saying like, "Oh, you should just suck it up, be a man about it," like or something.
I don't think he got
Oh, it might
suspended.
happen.
I don't think he got suspended for that. He might have got like some flack for that. I don't remember hearing him get suspended.
He did apologize for it. I do remember that. But,
Yeah, he might have got some like some
or was it DeRozan?
stress in the
I'm not
streets. You know what I'm saying, for saying
sure.
saying some crazy shit like that. It's probably people yelling at him and shit. But
Mm-hmm.
I know, yeah, he lost money for talking about domestic violence like that. So
Who?
Yeah.
Stephen A.
Yeah.
Smith. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. He was
Oh.
talking about like how like women shouldn't instigate these arguments because men are physically stronger. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's stupid.
Wrong.
That's
That's
stupid.
wrong. Yeah. It's stupid and wrong.
Bro.
But man, wow. For sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if he didn't get fired for that, then yeah, I was just kidding.
Yeah, Rachel Nichols definitely should not be fired.
Nah.
If that's the case, that's a good one to compare it to.
Yeah. That's
For
gonna
sure.
be an interesting situation though, moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she's cool still
will
with
be.
everybody.
I think she will be too.
She's so plugged. That's so crazy how she's so plugged. Like she was on Interrupted and all the smoke
She's
and
been in the
shit.
game
You know
for
what
a
I'm saying?
minute. She's been working up this little journalist ladder for like how long?
But I'm looking at everybody else. I'm looking at like, is she really that like crazy at her job? Like, I don't know if she's really that crazy at her job.
I don't know if she's crazy at her job. I just know she put time in. Like in terms of like the number of, I think she went to school for this. I think she's pretty much been in this sphere her entire career.
Mm-hmm. No,
and I
like
think her
journalism.
break.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that she's not passionate about it. I'm not. Obviously, she's passionate.
Okay. You mean just good, like knows
Good.
the
I'm just
game
saying.
and shit.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like from a quantitative
But
standpoint.
you don't got to be good at it. I don't think you got to be good at it. I think you just got to know the right people.
Fuck. But yeah, but obviously she knew all the right people and didn't do nothing.
I mean, she still slipped up. It's like that's the work of one person fucking her over. Like that's like someone like I honestly think that was probably one of the craziest things that Rachel Nichols could have even thought of because I think she was so well protected. The only way to like get her per se for the if this was like someone who like this is obviously someone who had to have advanced like something against her. Like I think that's the one thing I feel like that has to be fact. Like this isn't like some person doing their rightful duty because that would have been brought up immediately, no? Like if you heard this and was like, this is wrong, go to HR that day, that week. Talk with a friend about it over dinner. You can go the next week after that. But a year later means you had the intention to hold and flip this. So I think that person knew how well protected Rachel Nichols was, and then this like knew where to. I think this person was very close to Rachel Nichols actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
if they ever get a bug in her office, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, like that was crystal clear.
It sounded like it was a bug.
Yeah, but like it's someone who knew Rachel Nichols, knew where she was, like what she says, where she's gonna be around, like and just got a gold ticket.
That's crazy though. Like, man.
But the thing is, with people like Rachel Nichols, they can buy back their way to the league.
Yeah.
Because you always like, I mean, unless the person just put it on the web for free, then you're invisible. But if you paid for that, if you got paid out for this.
Yeah, like I wonder where the original leak came, like who was the first person to like tweet it or like
I don't know.
Find it, I guess. Like because maybe this recording was something that an ESPN employee reported to their HR. HR didn't do anything about it for a year, so they were just like, you know what, fuck it.
I'm going to the news. Yeah. That's very possible too. That's very possible too, Solomon.
That would be funny as fuck.
If they were trying to protect
imagine if that one person was like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, and then go to ESPN and they're like, all right, we'll take care of it. 3 months go by, nothing happens. 6 months go by, you go to them and they're like, yeah, we're taking care of it. Don't worry, buddy. Nothing's happened. 9 months go by, nothing's happened. And it's like a year later, you just leak it to the fucking press. and then ESPN fires you. Like, hey, whoever works at ESPN, y'all listening to this? Whoever got fired from your department last week is the one who leaked this shit.
Who leaked the tape.
But whoever's not at work, right?
Whoever's not at work right now.
Yeah,
Damn.
Might have been a convenient vacation, whatever. They just not at work right now.
yeah. Apparently, the National Association of Black Journalists is demanding a meeting with ESPN executives about the Rachel Nichols situation because they're saying that they're just sweeping it under the rug.
They low-key are. I mean, that was a slap on the wrist. I mean, are they? I just kind of actually got a lot of traction.
I know the story got a lot of traction.
I mean, but I feel like it's one of those
nothing to do
things.
with that.
In terms of the punishment, like
Right, they're not
bestowed
taking
upon-
ownership of it though. Of the
I
story.
feel like it's going to be one of those things that like dies. I mean, it's already pretty much dead in the media world now. Like
Mhm.
like it was popping the day that the tape got leaked, and then maybe the day after. But like it's just one of those things that just it comes and goes.
I'll say for me too.
Forget about it.
Like, yeah, like what else is there to like get out of this situation? Like Disney has never admitted to like fully being on this. It's like I think Disney's more protected than the damn cops. Like
Yeah.
their entire fucking company is based off of creating an image. You want them, the company that owns ESPN, to admit that we have issues in our department, therefore, like, I don't know, painting our image. I think there's no purpose in doing that, and just like, just go the natural route of this is not the views of our company. Here at Disney, we like, and then show me your fucking company handbook on diversity and inclusion, and then go move on with it. That's all they're gonna do. There's no point to admitting to that.
Rachel Nichols actually didn't even get suspended. She's only not doing the finals.
The finals.
That's it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I guarantee they had a meeting. They said, "All right, we're going to take you off the air for a little bit. Let this die down. You'll be back. Back for the next season."
This is the definition of a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, the jump was supposed to come on yesterday, but they took it off of TV.
Okay. Gotcha. Damn. Well, I mean, I hope she learned her lesson, but did she really?
Is she still
Maybe
doing
a little? I would say probably not, but it was a little hit to the ego.
Is she coming back to work with everyone else? Is what I want to know.
She's coming back to work. She's coming back to work. People gonna look at her a little funny. But she's coming back to work.
Did she do it today? Hold on.
What you looking at?
I'm trying to find a YouTube video of the jump, the one that aired today, and see if
there's the jump aired today.
That's what it looks like. I think it comes on TV every day. It's like one of the shows that comes on every day.
Oh yeah, probably. For sure.
She was not on it. Oh no, nope, she's there. There she is. She's on TV.
Live in the flesh.
Yeah, like I said, I was pretty sure I saw her yesterday on TV. I was like,
they said she wasn't. They said she wasn't on yesterday, but she's on today. That's crazy. Yep, there she goes with Michael Wilbon and Matt Barnes. That's what we need to talk about is motherfucking Kwame Brown and Matt Barnes.
He did make a name for himself like really quickly. Oh
man, because that's so real, man. It's like, why are you talking about me still? Like, that was hella old. Like, that has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with you. Oh,
he was spinning some real shit.
He was, man. He really was. Like, yeah, Matt Barnes is one to talk about anybody.
Damn.
my God. Man. But I
Give me
guess
2
we'll
seconds,
end
guys.
I guess we'll end it today.
Yeah.
It's
Yup.
it's been a cool one. Definitely
Yeah.
talked about some interesting topics. Uh
Mhm.
before we head out, anything you guys want to plug?
I got nothing today.
Man, I'm gonna actually plug people to watch soccer this week. This is a fucking fantastic weekend for soccer. For those who don't know, there are two really big games: the Copa America and the Euro Cup final. They're pretty much the World Cup of two different continents. The Copa America is for South America. The Euro is for Europe. Saturday is going to be Argentina versus Brazil. Really tough. Neymar versus Messi. And on Sunday it'll be England versus Italy. England has never won a European championship, and they're playing in England. They are going to be two match-fast games. I don't know what else I'm going to do this weekend, so check that shit out.
What time are the games? What time are the games? I might check that out.
So the Copa America game will definitely be in the afternoon. I would actually guess it would be around 5 o'clock. I just don't know for sure. And then the Sunday game will definitely be at noon. England, Italy. I'm just actually checking it right now. It is 5 o'clock. So Argentina versus Brazil is 5 o'clock. And then for Euros, and for the Euros, I'm tripping.
5 o'clock this time, you're saying?
Yeah, it's gonna be Pacific. So it's 5 o'clock and then 12 o'clock. So 12 o'clock for the Italian game. It's Italy, England, ESPN, and then the Copa America game is gonna be on your local streaming service. I don't know which one it is though.
Probably like M.B.C. maybe.
Uh, Shit, I'm not sure if they show the Copa America on NBC, bruh. So you gonna have to find that one. I got you a link if you need it.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right then, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the flip. Oh yeah, tapped in. Black-owned businesses, support Bay Area. But yeah, catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. Peace.